Well, let me get back up there.
I was confident that we could down climb it and not have any problem.
Jeremy, wait! Ah! Jer! Jeremy! Jeremy!
I remember when I heard that splash, that was the last thing that I wanted to hear at that point.
Jeremy! 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 Are you okay? Are you okay? I can't believe I just did that. Hold on, Jim, I'm coming.
Both hypothermia and frostbite were a major concern. It's the end of November and it's in Utah. I don't know exactly what the temperature was during the day, but it was well below freezing.
Freezing? There's no way we're climbing out of here.
Just double time the rest of the canyon. Get back to camp.
Dusk is just 3 hours away and the temperature's dropping fast. Justin and Jeremy will have to move even quicker now if they're to have any chance of getting out of the canyon before dark.
More fire. Hot cuts are really good right now.
I think we were even in a bigger hurry after that happened. I know I definitely was.
All right.
Now the weather, which has been deteriorating all day, takes a dramatic turn for the worse.
It probably wasn't 10, 15 minutes before there was maybe an inch of snow. It was very cold. And then we hit another big chokestone. I remember looking down over the back of it and looking at that pool and thinking, oh great, water again.
You think this canyon has something against us, do you?
Things out and going through the backpack, we came across my camera. And one of the last things that we did was take a picture of each other, because I remember saying, well, we better take a picture of each other if we don't ever see each other again.
I thought that maybe I might never see him again. And those things, yeah, those things go through your head.
Remember what I was saying about you being my least favorite brother?
I never liked you much either.
Hey.
And it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. It was so cold outside that I wasn't really wet, more like frozen. And I would have these clods of ice that would build up that I would have to break off in order to just continue moving.
Jeremy is close to collapse. He desperately needs to rest and dry out.
I decided it was time to rest. And there was driftwood that looked dry, and built a very large fire, a fire that's about 4 times the size as I would normally build. But it was so cold that I had to be so close to the fire to get warmth from it. Almost had to lay in it. I just wanted to feel dry for a minute. And at the same time, it was very hard to do. I felt really guilty stopping and building a fire. More guilty than I'd ever felt before.
Jeremy needs to get going again as soon as he can, but exhaustion gets the better of him, and before he knows it, he's passed out next to the fire. Deep in the canyon, Justin is beginning to realize just how badly his leg is hurt.
I start feeling this interesting sensation, and I haven't checked on my leg in a while, but it feels like maybe I'm bleeding. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing
the effects of immobility and bitter cold. He can feel himself slipping into unconsciousness.
I know that if I fall asleep, if I get too comfortable, I might not wake up. And I'm thinking, I have to come up with something that's going to keep me sharp, that's going to keep me from going into shock. And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about my family, my wife, and my 4 children. And the thought comes to me, just repeat over and over again their names and their birth dates.
Madison Patricia Harris.
April 5th, 2000.
Tanner Justin Harris.
July 28th, 1996.
Mackenzie Susan Harris. Mackenzie Susan Harris. May 1st, 1995.
Dave and Crystal set off in the morning with enough water for a 3-hour hike.
We left just before 10 o'clock and expected to be back in time for a late lunch.
They've spent 2 years reading up on the rainforest, but nothing prepares them for the real thing.
As soon as we went in, we started to see more than we had ever seen before, such as bats and different kind of bugs than we had ever seen, and it was a fantastic morning. I was really excited.
Dave, look. Give me that.
My plan was to use my sports bra as a filter.
Okay, now I want you to pour that through the top here.
Crystal's bra could actually filter out a number of nasty parasites. But it won't get rid of smaller microorganisms that could make them dangerously ill.
Okay, bottoms up.
I don't know about this.
We don't have a choice.
Well, cheers.
I took a small sip and kind of let it sit in my mouth for a second to taste it.
Tastes okay, kind of chalky. Well, what do you think?
I thought we needed to come up with a strategy and continue using it until the end.
That way.
Okay.
What neither of them realize is the only direction that can help them is north.
We chose southeast. We will walk in this one direction for as long as it takes. If it takes us 40 days to get out of here, we're going to walk southeast.
Hours later, and the jungle is just getting denser.
We were getting down. We were getting scared and worried.
Everything just looks the same. The jungle is so dense, it's so thick, you can't see more than a few yards in any direction at any one time.
Dave has an idea. If he can get up high, he might just be able to see the lodge.
We're tired, I was exhausted. And I looked up and I saw that I had not made any progress. It was still 150 feet up to the top.
He is weak from 2 days without sleep or food.
Are you okay? Did you see anything?
Yeah. Rainforest.
Why is no one looking for us?
In fact, people are looking for them. But the search is focused around the White Trail. And that's now a very distant and dense 7 miles away. As darkness falls, they realize they must endure another night.
I was tired. I had not slept on the previous night. I was being driven insane by the mosquitoes. They were constantly biting me, making our bodies itch, and we would scratch it to the point where our bodies would start bleeding.
The next day, they're still heading in the wrong direction, getting even further away from the area where rescuers are searching for them. And now they start to notice an ominous change in the behavior of the wildlife.
The way to avoid any confrontation is to let them know that you are different, that you are not something that's in their normal habitat.
Their encounter with the pigs leaves them jumpy and exhausted. Any hope of sleep is gone. Then, just when they think things couldn't get any worse, lightning brings down a huge tree dangerously close to them.
If it had landed on us, we surely would have died in that.
The storm has shaken Crystal to the core.
There's never been a worse night in my life than that night.
Their terrible night leaves both of them exhausted and miserable. But it's pushed Crystal close to the edge.
For Crystal, that night was really a turning point for her, and she had gone from being whatever happens, happens, we're going to get through this challenge, to being really fearful of this being the end of her life and dying out there.
You gotta give me everything you got today.
Crystal accepts Dave's deal.
Everything you got today.
If they aren't out of the forest by dusk, they will both kill themselves.
We'll do it together.
That put a specific time frame on the rest of our life. We were either going to get out and live the rest of our life really happily, or that was going to be the end.
Crystal can now see an end to her ordeal.
Sit down. Sit down here. On here. Come on.
She was like, what time is it? Is it nighttime? Is it getting close enough?
Come on!
But Crystal can't keep going.
Come on. Come on!
She decides she can't wait until nightfall. She wants them to end their lives now.
It's time.
When I said it, he agreed. And he said, okay, now we can do it.
We were going to have to go through with this.
Dave's resigned to dying, but there's a bizarre thought he can't get out of his head.
I wanted to wash the mud that was on my arms. I wanted to wash my face and have a clean body, a clean approach. If I was going to face a judgment, I needed to do it with a clean spirit as well as a clean body.
He begins to search for water to wash himself.
As we fought through some of the underbrush, when we got down there, there wasn't a creek, there wasn't a puddle. There was a flooded forest. Everywhere that we could see, there was water.
It's a glimmer of hope, just enough to keep them going.
This water's gotta lead somewhere.
In the Amazon, rivers are like roads. If this water leads to a river, they might just spot a boat. They put aside thoughts of suicide.
I got this surge of energy and some anger that made me want to fight through the water even more.
It's just a fantastic river. It's amazing. And it is so diverse. The bird life is out of this world. You see animals, bushbuck, buffalo, elephant coming down. And in the water, there's the hippos.
I've been nailed by a croc!
Oh, God.
It was just such a terrible feeling. We weren't sure whether he'd lost an arm or a leg or where he'd been bitten.
Where? How bad? How bad are you hurt?
We weren't sure if he was going to make it through even the next hour, let alone the next day.
Alistair! Alistair!
With their best chance of rescue gone, Arthur decides to take matters into his own hands.
I could hear the lions calling and the hyenas, but when they stop, you don't know where they are, because you don't know if they're coming your direction or going away. I thought I could be in for a tough night. I just got these stones together so that if something did come up that night, I could at least throw a rock at it.
When it got really dark, the wind picked up and it really got cold. I was absolutely freezing and my teeth were chattering and I just couldn't get warm.
It was extremely cold. Definitely, you are in extreme danger by standing in the river because there is a very good chance that a crocodile will come and get you during the night.
Let's get in a ring.
We decided that we'll all huddle together.
We're rolling already. Try and keep a lookout on all sides.
The more sets of eyes you got looking all around you, the more chance you have of seeing a crocodile coming from behind or from the left or from the front. So we're all looking in different directions just in case the crocodile came from another side.
We were straining to see into the water. And all the time you're thinking about crocodiles. Those huge snapping jaws, gaping mouths. It was just a terrifying thought.
What's that?
Went cold. It was just such a terrible experience.
What's that?
It was like a slapping sound. Arthur said that is a crocodile slapping its tail, and it's not far from here.
You could distinctly see it was a crocodile.
We could see the jagged edge of his tail as he came closer and closer.
Suddenly everything is awake. Your ears, your eyes.
Big panic.
Wait, look it.
When something is coming directly to you, you fear the worst.
Wait, look it.
As we hit the water with the paddle, it veered off into the mainstream.
David has dived with sharks before and is confident they won't get attacked while underwater. He's more worried about the weather.
We're watching the weather very carefully because it's very exposed out there. And I noticed off in the distance a funny-looking cloud. It looked like an eyebrow, but it was nothing that deeply concerned me.
David's confident they'll be in and out of the water long before the cloud reaches them.
So what's your dive plan, mate?
Well, we're gonna drop in around 30 meters, have a look around.
The plan is to dive for around half an hour while the boat stays in position above them.
The boatman went over exactly where we would be dropped off, exactly when and where we would be picked up. I didn't pay too much attention. I just let them do their thing. But the anxiety just kept growing and growing. The dive was completely different than anything I'd ever experienced. It was amazing. We started going through this white haze. It was quite dreamlike, and there were bubbles funneling up around us coming from the vents of Kavachi.
The volcano is out of sight beneath the divers, far deeper than they can safely descend. All they can see are clouds of sulfur dioxide rising towards them from below.
It was such an amazing celestial scene. It was just breathtaking.
After 30 minutes, the divers surface.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
The weather has changed dramatically. The dark cloud David spotted earlier is now above them.
God, it's really choppy now.
Yeah.
There's the boat, it's miles away.
Yeah, the current must be really strong. Hey! Hey, guys! Hey!
We're behind you!
Hey!
I remember thinking, oh, okay, that's no big deal. I was just looking forward to getting in the boat and putting a towel around myself. And then they didn't turn around.
They got the engines on. I can't hear us over the engines. Turn them off! Cut the engines! Turn it off! Hey!
I said, David, why aren't they turning around? And he couldn't answer that question.
You're yelling, you're screaming at the top of your voice. Why isn't he looking? We're here. Can't you see us?
The boatmen know the divers must be out of air by now. They expect to see them surface, but the dark sky has made the divers impossible to spot. While the engine is keeping the boat in position, they have no idea that a strong current.
I took her regulator, shoved it in through my BC, which was an easy way of making sure that we didn't get separated. Because separation in a scenario like that can be deadly. Not that I'm not a control freak, but I had to help stay in control for us to survive.
David said, let's just conserve our energy. That's the most important thing right now. So the plan was that I would wrap my legs around his waist and my arms around his neck. So his face was right here.
There's everything down there.
If there's anything dangerous down there...
Like sharks, you mean?
Yeah.
Just say it!
Yeah, and you keep kicking and splashing, the sharks ain't gonna come and check us out, right?
All I could think about was sharks. One nibble, one drop of blood in the water, and then we're gone.
The search parties have finally reached Kavachi, but they have no idea that David and Melissa have already drifted miles away in the current. They continue to search above the volcano. David was convinced they'd be found by 4 o'clock. Now it's almost 5. They're still 20 miles from land, and there's no sign of rescue.
It was very clear that David wanted to stay still. He didn't want to move. He wanted to conserve his energy. I remember turning around and just looking all around me and just seeing all this water. And then looking at the land again and thinking, there's no other option.
I really think we should try and swim.
David looked in my eyes and he knew at that point that there's no arguing. We're gonna start swimming.
Okay. Take it nice and easy, okay? No splashing. I'm gonna keep my head underwater and keep a lookout, okay? Nice and easy.
Okay. I remember him saying, let's just kick very slowly, peacefully on the surface, just moseying through. There's no reason to bring attention to ourselves, and don't kick too hard because we'll just get exhausted.
With 30 years diving experience, David knows that splashing about on the surface creates its own risks.
I didn't want to become part of the food chain because having watched the oceans and observed what happens there my whole life, there was a pretty strong likelihood that some sharks would come up and have a good look at us. You're on edge, totally. It was not a good feeling, not at all.
While David keeps watch below the surface, Melissa scans above for any sign of danger.
You see these pointed gray waves, and then all of a sudden you think you see fins.
Here. Look. What?
And so your mind plays tricks with you.
What?
Nothing. Sorry.
It was a constant battle to not let my imagination go.
But the dangers beneath the waves are not just in Melissa's mind.
Ow! Something bit me!
What? Where?
Another major problem. I've got a problem with sharks.
Against two sets of razor-sharp teeth, David's only defense is his camera.
I needed something to ram and protect us. That was the first thing to use.
It circled around us and then it went off. He couldn't believe it didn't do anything else.
It's gone.
But I kept looking for it because I just didn't want to be caught by surprise by one of those.
Family.
It was about 6:30 at night. I just sat down to dinner, and I got a phone call.
Owen Tomlinson.
And it was David's secretary from Cairns saying, Owen, I've got some bad news for you. David is missing at sea.
What happened?
And I was informed that he went diving and never came up. We just lost our younger sister with cancer about 4 or 5 months previous.
The night was the most stressful time I've ever had in my life. It's as far as your emotional lows are concerned, that'd have to rank up there with them because I've never been so hopeless. Every minute that we're out there, you become less convinced that we're going to get out of it.
We're in a really bad place here. I don't know what's going to happen.
Part of what we went through was discussing what we pass on if I don't survive. Tell my kids I love them. And my family. It's scary. Oh.
It was really important for me that where you're talking about it, you're accepting it.
David and Melissa were 19 miles out at sea. I'm looking out the windows of my plane, and it's black. And I'm thinking, they're down there in the water somewhere and it's black. You really feel very useless because there's nothing you can do. A lot runs through your mind, it really does. I kept thinking that this is kind of like a bad dream and everything will, you'll wake up and everything will be just the way it was. Obviously, I hope he's alive and he's floating somewhere. If not, what do I do? How do I bring a body back?
There was one point where I thought maybe David can just hold me under. And I couldn't allow myself to die that way. I couldn't do that to my family. I couldn't dishonor them. I couldn't do it. I just said, David, I don't care. I don't care if I die. I gotta die trying. I'm not gonna lay here anymore.
Gotta swim.
After living through that darkness and then seeing the light, it just changed. It just gave me something I didn't have. It was glorious just seeing that sun.
It was one of the finest sunrises I've ever seen in my life. It's just to watch the light come up was great.
And then I could actually see for the first time the land. I could see that it was actually tangible.
Oh, you're closer. It is closer.
My eyes were completely glued to the land. That's all I could think about.
Melissa may be feeling more positive, but David is 20 years older than her. While he allowed her to rest during the night.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
I need a helicopter as soon as possible.
Okay, what for?
My brother's gone missing near Kavachi.
I'll have to talk to my boss first. So if you'd like to take a seat, then I'll just be right back.
I was hoping they would be out at first light, but it was probably closer to 8 in the morning. It was a bit upsetting because we wanted to find the two of them as quickly as possible.
Mr. Tomlinson, good news. We've got a chopper on standby for you.
Oh, that's great. And I said, well, get them out there, get them going.
But unfortunately, we're a commercial operation, so I'm gonna have some form of payment up front so we can get you in the air.
I had no idea what the currency in the Solomons was, and I certainly didn't have a suitcase full of whatever currency they would accept.
Let's do.
That'll be fine. 1 minute.
So the good old plastic came in handy, and it worked.
Okay.
Sailboats on its end, or like almost like a kayak sticking straight up out of the water. Well, what's that plastic?
Oh, David! David! My shark!
What?
I saw fin!
That woke me up.
What
I said, did it sort of look like this? And she says, yeah. And what I sketched with my finger was a dorsal fin of a hammerhead shark.
Just offshore, they've spotted a hammerhead shark.
I'd never seen anything like this. It was huge.
You're talking a 6+ meter.
You got a scorpion on your back.
One sting could immobilize David.
Hold still. Careful. You think it could kill you?
I don't know. I don't really want to find out.
It's a reminder of just how hostile the canyon is. As well as scorpions, there are thousands of rattlesnakes. Stepping on one would be all too easy. And getting bitten out here, miles from medical help, could be fatal.
There was a rather large rattlesnake that was a few feet away from me.
The western diamondback rattlesnake is one of the most aggressive snakes in the US. A bite from an adult can deliver enough venom to kill in as little as 6 hours.
I remember experiencing the fear that that snake would turn and sense my body heat.
Guy is so weak he can't move out of striking range.
And that experience lasted for about an hour while that snake was there.
At last, the snake moves away.